Welcome. This is Commissioner's Corner, and my name is Skyler Whitfield with the Collegiate Summer Baseball Network. I'm joined today by a very special guest, Sean Lomas, Commissioner of the Beach Collegiate Baseball League. Sean, great to have you on the show today.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
And we got some really interesting subjects to talk about, a lot of things that have been completely different this year compared to every other year baseball's ever existed. So we'll just get right into it, Sean. With all these clubs that aren't able to play in the Northeast, out West, Great Lakes, have you seen a shift in talent and has interest peaked in the league that you are currently running?
Yeah, I mean, for sure. I mean, this year, obviously, going into our ninth season, naturally, like everybody across the country, I mean, we've been kind of concerned throughout the spring, just praying that we were going to be able to get these guys on the field. Fortunately, we only had to delay a little bit, this upcoming week. Our players start reporting. And sure, I mean, some of these leagues getting canceled, I'm sure you had a lot of guys from all over the country, but, in particular up and down the East Coast, trying to find some place to play. So, we've certainly had more of an influx of Division I guys, trying to get into the league, and which we kind of expected. It's a great thing for the league, obviously, them representing their schools and them trying to get their work in. But, we're just looking forward to it, man. We're happy to be able to get these guys on the field and play the game they love.
So what is your schedule going to look like for this year, and what has changed, as far as space between games and things of that nature going forward?
Sure. Big difference in schedule, for sure. What we did was, ideally, our league runs a little bit over a month, about 5 weeks, and within that month that they're playing, they get a couple days off per week, ideally the weekends. We try to get them off just so, they have time to practice and kind of get acquainted with Myrtle Beach and get some downtime as well. Obviously, with this year, with everything that's going on, it's more or less they're reporting, get ready to play baseball, and a lot of baseball. So, this year the league is it's only 3 weeks, but the difference is a lot more doubleheaders, and they're playing every single day. So, like we told the kids before they came here, if you're here to play ball and get better, get a good baseball experience, that's what you're going to get.
The place to be. So with a lot of these pitchers in particular that have had all this time away from live action, are you going to be a little bit more lenient on the pitch count? Are you going to just say, hey, let's throw these heaters out there? What's the approach with that?
Yeah, I mean, I think it just depends on the particular kid and the program they're coming from. Obviously, the majority of these guys should be fresh and ready to go. It's been so long. But at the same extent, we're going to continue to monitor their health, obviously, and make sure that, they're not overdoing it and communicating with much coaches as need be. And also, personally, just to see how they're feeling. And, hey, look, if a kid's ready to go, man, and they feel good, we want to let them loose. We want to let them loose, and I'm sure majority of them are going to want to let loose. So, pitchers probably more than anybody are ready to get going and get these live action games going, for sure.
Well, that's great that you're able to get these games in with so many leagues not being able to do it. I've noticed a trend that smaller leagues with more condensed travel, especially in the South, have a serious advantage in getting their, not only like their kids trained, but getting their brand out there. And I see that you brought some hats and some swag out here today.
Yeah.
We'd love for you to show it off and promote your brand.
Certainly. Well, we brought a couple BCBL things here for the studio. So these guys got some hats for themselves. There's some fitted hats for the guys. And, so these are some of the ones that more or less our staff get. And the players come in striving for these things, but we don't give those out to the players. But these are also our league shirts that all the players get as well. So just kind of wanted to come and show off some of the apparel aspect and, make sure that the staff here is getting a good taste of it for sure. So a couple of things we brought, just smaller things is, I also own the Rolling Stars baseball program based out of South Carolina. And, we have a collegiate team in the BCBL. But the main gist of the program is, it goes from ages 9 through 18. But, the major aspect of it is our showcase program. Kids that are high school athletes striving to get to the next level. And a majority of them do. And right now going into this summer, we have a lot of big-time top-flight prospects that, a lot of big-time schools are going to be interested in. So that's that's our hat for that. And again, that's the little donut here in the studio. And feel free to wear around. Last thing I brought here is this is the I Am Jaden Foundation. This is in retrospect to my 10-year-old son. Jaden had a stroke at birth, and we were told at 6 months that he would probably never walk or talk. Long story short, Jaden is basically a walking miracle. He's a walking miracle. He does the Jim Abbott, but nothing against Jim Abbott. I love him, but probably even better than Jim Abbott, because Jim Abbott was able to at least pinch the glove on his little fingers on his right hand. Well, JJ actually tucks the glove under his right armpit, throws lefty, and then he's able to transfer it to the left hand. So it's pretty amazing. He's a good little hitter, too. He hits with one hand, but he hits this way, so he stays short to the ball instead of long. He's a heck of a basketball player. Wow. And basically, he's a life lesson for everybody, including myself. And I use him for all the athletes I'm involved with, because we all get lazy. We all get temperamental with a lot of stuff. And when I put his life in perspective of how hard it is just to put on a sock or brush his teeth, you're able to put in perspective. So he's a success story, and this is the foundation we have for him that raises money for other kids with hemiplegia to help them get to college and college scholarships, and a fun, cool way to kind of keep tracks on that is we have a Twitter account for it. We have an Instagram account for it, which is very popular that a lot of people follow. So, and again, it's called I Am Jaden Foundation. So it's pretty cool. So we brought some of this stuff here, some wristbands and some hats. And yeah, definitely feel free. We're very happy for him, and definitely want to spread that word for him. So,
yeah, that's great. Yeah. So if any players are watching this at home, you don't feel like getting that extra workout. There's a kid that can only use half his body, and he can shoot hoops and bat and pitch. So get in the gym, guys. Keep going at it.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing cool stuff. For sure.
So you're no stranger to the summer league and to what most people would say is the Premier League.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, they're not able to play this year. But tell us a little bit about what you learned playing in that environment, and how it translates to coaching in a team, teams in leagues.
Sure. Being able to, be a former player that went through playing in those big leagues, ACBL, Cape Valley, all those different leagues that speak prominently for big-time Division I players that usually stand, in the forefront of one day being a pro prospect. I learned a lot from that from a player standpoint, and kind of what I took from it was when I moved down south, I was just finding that a lot of kids were not having the opportunity to play, if you have that God-given ability and you're able to work hard at it and make it something special, hey, you deserve the right to play on those top leagues. But at the same extent, you have kids that are your D2s, your D3s, who are excellent ball players. And the way we looked at it was, hey, we don't want these guys to get shut out. This is a game that they love to play. They're playing at the collegiate level. What can we give to them to make this a productive and fun summer to where, when they leave Myrtle Beach playing the BCBL, saying, hey, that was a great experience for me. Got me better as a player, made me a better person. And I think that's something we've brought to the forefront now over the past 9 years, for sure.
That's great. So with housing, that's been kind of an issue. Are you guys renting out hotels, or do you have host families that have kind of braved through the COVID-19 era?
What we've done is, fortunately, when we first started years ago, we always had to use kind of extended stay places just because it was kind of a green area, because in Myrtle Beach being that it's such a touristy location, nobody really was willing to do a lot of the host family stuff just because people are in and out. They're in and out so much, and kind of, as we know, if you live here a lot of times, as tourists come in, a lot of times the people that live here are kind of going out. So, so with that, fortunately, as time's gone on, we've moved into where we rent out condos for the kids. And it's worked out very good. It's a block or two from the ocean. They're nice places, supply full kitchens for them. And it's been, I think we're on our third or fourth year now where we've been using those. And obviously it's a lot more of a convenient and comfortable situation for the players and coaches being able to stay in condos compared to extended stay places.
So as far as training goes, have you guys been able to get into a gym? I mean, gosh, most of the gyms around here still aren't really able to open.
Yeah.
you guys just pumping iron outdoors in the heat? What's going on with that?
Yeah, that's the tough part. I mean, you're able to get on some fields and get some work in as far as like your baseball aspect, getting ground balls, keep your arm fresh, that batting practice. As far as gyms, still very limited in regards to the space that they're allowed to use. So for these guys, these college guys, especially staying strong, a lot of it is just personal workouts, and just these are uncalled times. It's just crazy where you're used to being able to go to the gym 4 or 5 times a week and stay fit, stay strong. It's just kind of find your own thing to do and make sure you're doing the old school stuff, the push-ups, the punches, running, and just finding a way to persevere so when things do somewhat get back to normality, you haven't lacked what you were working hard for.
Yeah, so. And there's not a single shop around here that doesn't have some extra tires you can throw.
Exactly right. Yeah, that's right. That's right. When you're an athlete, you can do a lot of different things to stay strong.
That's for sure. Yeah. Well, it seems recent times you've been expanding. Mm-hmm. Not only do you have a league here, but tell us about what you're doing in the Lone Star State in Texas.
Yeah, we through the years we've had got a good connection with a lot of guys out in Texas, the state of Texas, as far as college coaches, and so we're planning on starting our league in Corpus Christi. Now this year is supposed to be our first year, and we're actually deciding this week the finality of that. Just because again with the times we've delayed that, just like we did the Myrtle Beach one here. But we're just making sure everything is right, it's in line, and making sure that we can go, forth 100%. It's going to be a fun league, very much more or less the Myrtle Beach, basically the BCBL of Texas, kind of beach oriented, gives guys, the aspect of playing the game they love and just being around the beach. We hope to get that going this year. If not for some reason, we just look forward to next year. Obviously, again, we know that things didn't come just smooth this year. So if we can make it happen, we certainly will. But at the same extent, we don't just want to have it go just to have it go. We want to make sure it's done right. So, but yeah, the Corpus Christi League is called the TCBL, which is the Texas Coastal Baseball League. Mm-hmm. And, again, we're looking forward to it, man. It's going to be a lot of fun.
That's right. Yeah. That's right. Well, we love what you're doing over here. You're expanding while other people are, what are we going to do? We got to contract. Sure. So it's always good to see people just keep going after the things they love. Sure. And Sean, it's very cool to see that. One of the things that I did want to ask you, for those that are in the Grand Strand area, just a quick tidbit. Our company is located in North Myrtle Beach, so if they want to come out and see a game, mm-hmm. where would they be able to do that? What fields do you guys play at, and what time do you have games?
Sure. This year that's nothing that's a little bit different. A lot of times we use the turf fields over at Monkey Commons, City Myrtle Beach, at Grant Park. But this year, just with the timing and stuff being delayed, we will continue to use North Myrtle Beach over here, the athletic complex, which is a beautiful complex, on their big diamonds there, and the players have enjoyed playing there over the years. Mm-hmm. So we'll be there for a fair share of games, and then we'll be around the area as well in a couple other different fields. But that'll definitely be one of our primary locations, and more importantly, our playoffs this year will be at the Pelican Stadium, which
very cool.
Yeah, so the players and coaches are very, very stoked about. So, again, everybody wanted to see the Pelicans play naturally, but hey, the fact that they get to play there for some games is something to look forward to. So, that's going to be exciting. Again, with those guys obviously just coming from different areas, being able to get on that diamond, they'll have a lot of fun.
And that's the beauty of summer ball this year. It could potentially be the only game in town.
That's right.
You definitely got to mark it.
No question.
Well, Sean, appreciate you, coming over here and kind of just talking us through what you got going on. So you got big plans for the future.
Yes, sir.
And it just seems like you're really good for the sport of baseball.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. All right, folks. Well, we appreciate you watching. This is Skyler Whitfield with CSBN. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and good night.